Thanks for joining us. This is our latest Vinyl Pulse webcam interview series. Today we're welcoming Brent Nolasco, who's joining us from My Plastic Heart in New York City. Brent has been doing toys for a long time, long as I can remember. He's done some resins in the past. He's done plenty of customs. He's a painter. But lately he's been just on a really prolific run, making tons and tons of creatures and characters, sculpting them, and then casting them in resin or having other people cast them for him and then painting them. So welcome, Brent.
Hey, Jack, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Pretty good. In New York right now. Taking a little day trip from PA and just enjoying the day. It's a good day.
Nice. So why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of your background, your art, just generally.
I started doing customs back in, I don't know, maybe 2006. I took some years off from doing artwork to raise my son Jerome, and was kind of looking at a Complex magazine and saw the Dunny platform toy, and saw some other stuff and thought that, hey, might as well try to do it, do a custom. So I started showing customs on the Kid Robot forum, and kind of things took off from there.
Great.
Some of my background, Some of my background when I started was painting and drawing. So it was a big leap from doing vinyl from fine art, because I consider myself as a fine artist. I did dabble a little bit in graphic arts, but I didn't like it.
Okay. And you do your art full time now, right?
Yes, I do, yeah.
That's awesome.
And a 3-year-old.
All right. Living the dream both ways, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So, as I mentioned before, you've done I was kind of boning up, even though I know your stuff, looking at all your toys, and in the last few years, it seems like you've released 8 to 10 new figures. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I still have about 7 to 8 more in the works that were getting pulled or getting finished. So we still have a lot more to show, and it's kind of a progression from the start with the bun to where I'm going to go. So it's kind of hitting my goals and then learning from them and then moving on to new stuff.
Okay.
So there's still a lot more,
And you're sculpting all of these yourself, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Do you have are they sort of, there's similarities between them. Do you see them all as part of one universe or not, or do you think about them in that way?
For what I'm working on right now, it's kind of collective of they're all in kind of reference with each other. And then as I progress, after the Beast figure that I just finished, we're progressively moving on to more animalistic characters, more different, more, not you'd say kaiju, but kind of pushing the limit to just being an animal or animal instincts or something, what it looks like, if there's a reference point to it.
Okay, so you're moving away from the animal references?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Can you show us some of those? I know you have a few that we can look at.
Well, here we start out with the bun.
That's pretty crazy.
Start everything out.
Yeah. He's got the glass eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh. That looks good, man.
Task 1 pulled the bun.
Okay.
Because I usually have other people pull my resin. I have Dead Hand Toys and Jacob Jams pull it. And this is the Sunny.
Okay.
Lee actually, Lucifer pulled the Sunny figure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty badass.
And then Jacob Jams pulled the bear. So it's a 2-part resin
This is
figure.
Bars, right?
Bars, yeah. Rotocast.
Okay. And does Bars have, at least to me, he has a little bit of a outlaw biker feel? Was that intended? Or maybe it's just the skull on the chest that makes me think that?
Yeah, it was a mixture of things. I sculpted the head and body not at the same time. I actually had a different body and it just got out of hand. It got really big. So instead of having a monstrosity piece that's 12 inches tall, I sculpted a smaller body, and then kind of it worked. It's kind of like the skeleton and the back and stuff like that, and then the skull. Usually I would put glass eyes in the eye sockets, but I decided just to do it plain, no glass eyes.
Okay.
Kind of mix it. I didn't want everything to have glass eyes,
Just because it was
aesthetically
too much all the same, or?
Yeah, or repetitious in a sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, there's the glass eyes again.
Right.
And then here's the beast figure.
Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy. Nice.
And I just painted him last week.
Okay. And this is a one-off?
This is a one-off, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do a run maybe in 2 weeks.
Wow, that paint job is really great.
So some of it's like sprays, washes, and acrylic.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big
Yeah.
Let's do the bun where it's about,
Oh, right. So how big is the bun in inches, and how big is the beast?
6 inches is the bun, and the beast I think is 8 to 9.
Wow.
But it's rotokick, so it's not like a doorstop.
Right. Cool. So your stuff has been getting slightly edgier too, right? I mean, Bun is pretty. I mean, he's a little quirky, but he's kind of cute. Yeah. Yeah. Beast is pretty crazed, and Ziggy, which is also he's kind of like a lobster demon. What is Ziggy exactly?
Well, there's like spiders coming out of eyes and things like that. That's kind of the transition from the beast and the bun going on to another, like kind of growing. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel stagnant of putting out the same figures all the time or the same genre. So that's kind of the edge, kind of moving on forward. And then from that, we'll move on to other things that I want to try out.
Okay, and so that's what you were sort of alluding to before in terms of like a slight change in direction. Yeah. Very
it's a good thing.
Yeah. I noticed that you have so many figures, so it's sort of like, I wonder if there's kind of like a dilemma between, the way you've been doing is you've been, showing the sculpt, then releasing kind of like an unpainted version, and then a painted version, and you have all these figures. Do you plan to revisit some of them and do more painted editions of them, or?
Yeah, bring them in and out when I feel like it. I mean, usually we generally pull 10 to 20 at a time,
right?
And then I kind of break them up and then bring them in and out, depending on if it's a show or it's for a convention or anything like that. You kind of bring them out, and some of the heads you can interchange from one body to the other, so that you can mix and match.
Okay.
And that's once I start pulling more stuff, I'm going to start mix matching and stuff like that. There's another head to the Ziggy figure too as well.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess maybe this is a hard question, but which one of your toy children is your favorite so far?
I like Bun because it's kind of the start of everything.
Okay.
It kind of started me from there, and then it was a piece to grow on.
Okay.
To grow and kind of experiment and move forward. I'm liking Beast, and I'm liking the Bars figure right now too.
Okay. So your production's been pretty amazing in terms of number of figures per like year, or however you want to look at it. How have you been able to do that? It's pretty impressive.
Well, it's right now I'm working on fall stuff, and then after summer I'm going to be working on next year's stuff. So it's kind of lining your ducks up, figuring out what needs to be pulled at a certain. I have stuff pulled like maybe a quarter before. I hold on to it, work on it, shoot pictures, and then start lining them up. So it's kind of it's kind of it's written. I write it all out. This is what I need to do. Kind of keep things in track and do it. So it's kind of everything is.
You have kind of like a production schedule worked out.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not like I'm going to do artwork. since you're raising a 3-year-old and a 16-year-old, you don't have that time to kind of dabble and do whatever you want. Be free. It has to be pretty much
right.
pretty set.
Right. Well, you're definitely doing it. It's pretty impressive. Do you kind of like sculpt one thing and then have it cast, or do you sculpt like a bunch of different things and then it's just a time of fitting them in and getting them produced?
Yeah, I just sent out 4 figures last week for the fall.
Oh wow! Okay.
Molded, but I'm usually working on multiple things at once, and I'm sculpting, I'm painting. If shows come up, I'm working on that. So it's kind of like throwing 5 or 6 projects in the air, and then you see which ones land, and then you kind of go with it, you know.
Right. You're focusing just solely on figures right now? Are you still doing paintings for shows, or do you not do that right now?
I'm going to focus on painting a little bit like in a year or so. Right now, like for me, sculpting is more of a challenge than painting. And I like challenges, and I like to push myself and try to get better at things. So right now, I'm focusing on sculpting. But I do like to paint. When I do the colorways and paint stuff, that gives me an opportunity to paint. But, I like to paint. But right now, I'm kind of putting it on hold.
Okay. Great. Well, so can you give us sort of a hint as to the kinds of things we can expect in the fall? Just a little bit?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I had to ask.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll definitely see it. You know what I mean? Okay. It's a progression. Sure I don't want to push myself or kind of get into it yet because I want to get ahead of myself. It's kind of hard to have all this artwork and you're just sitting on it and you can't show it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm good at that.
Right. Okay. All right.
There's definitely other things in the works, so you'll see them.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to them for sure, man. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for the interview.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.